Instagram, a couple of YouTubes actually, and I'll just click go on the TikTok. I'm Yogi Chris from IMC Nation, captain of IMC, founder of Ninth Limb Yoga. That's why they call me Yogi Chris. And I'm streaming to you from IMC Pegasus, home base, base number 1, the main base where I live with the Rastapar D Bazaar. You know him as AZD. And I've been living with AZD for about 4 years now, going on 4 years. And I've been oh, my fucking camera's off. Okay. There we go. What's up, CJ? All right. Here we go. What's up? What's up? Guys, I'm open to you guys wanting to split screen or whatever, Instagram and TikTok. So just send a request or make a comment or what have you. Okay, so this is gaming strippers. And we use that as a really good arena to practice social dynamics, even though there's obviously a lot of charades and theater and whatever in a strip club. The girl is using her nudity and her touch and whatever to get you to, pay money, get dances, basically go unconscious. If you're looking at it at a more metaphysical and spiritual level, she's making the man go unconscious in his lust and imagining whatever he's imagining, thinking he's getting somewhere or whatever. And she's completely lying, like almost always completely lying. Now, never mind that people are indirect and don't really know how to communicate, so they're not saying what they mean. I don't mean that kind of lie where people are just bad communicators. I mean, she's playing the guy, making him intentionally making him think, she's leading him on, whatever. And so there's the game, because to the guy that knows that, but still goes to the strip club, he knows that she's leading her on. Now, that'll only go so far, because as soon as she gets that you get what she's doing, she's going to lose interest in talking to you because she's there working. She wants to talk to the guy that's a chump that she could just get money from. That's what she's there doing. So if you know the score, as they say, if you know what she's up to and what's going on, but you can still entertain her, make her laugh, trigger attraction, basically, and make her desire. Wow, now you're like, what? You're making her do that. Well, how do you know? Because she's there playing, guys. She's lying to everybody. So hold on. This is important, guys. I'm getting a text thread here. $164 per ticket. If you outbid on Boo, I'll take highest bidder. He's offering to pay me just $200. Let's see. That's the thing. I don't have a girl. Well, I sent that also. Okay. So back to the stream, back to the story at hand. And it is kind of, well, okay, so it is that game with women everywhere, whatever it is, like entertain her, trigger attraction, high value stuff. And the reason why the strip club, because the strip club pulls together the most beautiful women who are the most savvy at the whole male female game. And it's guaranteed interactions, basically. Even if you had $0, you go to the strip club, you're gonna at least have a stripper tell you to fuck off. And that's probably the finest woman that you've talked to in a long time. Most likely for a lot of guys. So, and that's just a fuck off. You have a chance there to actually grab her attention and have an interaction. You know how she triggers unconsciousness in the guy? It's not that you trigger unconsciousness in her, but you snap her out of the game she's playing, because it takes effort to play that game. You'll occasionally meet the dancer that, like, she's to the core a fucking viper or a shark or something. Like, she doesn't even have an off button. She is like just a whore. You know what I mean? And even there is an off button. It's just so far down in there, it's not even hardly worth your time. You got to be an extreme type of person to even trigger that in her. But for most of the girls, just some genuine eye contact or just genuineness, sincerity, a sincere hello, but with strength. A lot of guys might think they're being sincere when they say hello, but they're saying hello with a kind of neediness for a reply. That's not a sincere hello. That's, I'm saying this is the best thing I can say to try to get you to dialogue with me. The hello does solicit a dialogue. It's interesting. The hello solicits it, but it's just, if it's a real sincere hello and the person doesn't reply the hello, then, or doesn't, reply with that, then there's something fucked up with them. You don't have a neediness about they need to reply to my hello. So just approaching the girl, even if it's similar if the girl's working, if she's just like a waitress or a hostess or something, or works at one of these casinos or something. If she's working, a working girl, any girl that's hired for her hostessing, her waitressing, her hospitality at these big casino hotels, whatever, any woman that's hired like that is hired for her beauty. She's hired for beauty, and the hospitality uh, is, again, 99% of the time, it's not that it's better than a guy or even equal to a guy's hospitality. It's that her hospitality is accompanied by her beauty and charm. And so we like that. We like the beauty. So she is selling her looks just like the stripper, just not dancing on you, most likely. So, and not as nude, most likely, unless you go to like Hooters or something. It's not that far off. There are bikini bars that they just sell coffee, like coffee bikini bars or whatever. They don't dance on you, but they're in bathing suits, thongs and whatever. And that is, it's all on a spectrum. It's a spectrum of what the female uh of the female selling herself, selling her beauty and everything to get ahead, get paid. Yeah, she's selling it. So the strip club is particularly seductive and it's sexual, and that's what it is. So it triggers unconsciousness in the guy. But you go to a working girl, what she's working, and your delivery, your presence, and everything is so outstanding. Outstanding. It stands out that she has to pause to really interact with you. Maybe she doesn't, but you get practice, and pretty soon you get pretty good that most girls will interact with you. And now the game starts. Now it's not that you've triggered unconsciousness, but you've triggered the off button for her worker mode. And that's fun because she always has that nagging at her. And it's not I would almost call it like a relationship of convenience. If you've ever heard of like convenient relationships, they're just together because they don't really have any options. They don't know anybody else. They're in rural America or something. Like, it's a relationship of convenience. They got married and they stay married because it's convenient. They're not necessarily happy, but it's easier to face that than the bleak situation of, they have no options, being alone. So it's a relationship of convenience. And she's not there hanging out with you because it's a friendship of convenience. It's not just convenience. She's got lots of people to talk to. And even if the club is empty, not a lot of guys, she'd rather talk with some of her girls there, or just get on the phone and be messaging, doing whatever. She has a life, or messaging clients, tricks, or whatever. Come see me at the club or whatever. Like, she's about her money. So even if there's no one to talk to, she's not there talking to you because it's convenient for her. She always has that value offering nagging at her where she could make money. She's here to make money. She put on makeup and everything, looks good, and it's not an easy thing to walk around in your swimsuit with the opposite sex who are bigger and stronger than you and want to grope on you and whatever. Like, you got to overcome something to do that. Even if they overcame it much earlier in life, they've had to overcome that. And so she's there doing something. She's not just bored sitting down with you. Man, okay, I'm getting text threads, so I just gotta handle it. It's about, dating strippers or whatever. So 1 second. I'll come right back. Stay tuned. Comment if you're liking this, what you think about it, or whatever. Okay. I have a girl that's coming. It's too late for me to come meet up with you soon. Too late. How to buy tickets already? I was thinking I'll take highest bid, and if it's two guys, I'm riding backseat too and getting 250 each. Yogi Chris and Fernando Caro back. But are you saying sell to Ambu for 200 total is best option AZD? I didn't buy tickets. I was going to buy the spare ones. I just need to know who's going to be in the back seat. So why do you guys tell me when you know? Okay. So back seat is split 500 two ways for 250 each. And we send to AZD or to you. Okay. Back to the matter at hand. Okay. So dancers are notoriously flaky, and women are notoriously flaky, and beautiful women are notoriously flaky. So beautiful dancer women are very, very, very flaky. But that's again part of the game. So you go to the club and you're working it. You captured her attention. You're triggering attraction, so you think, and you may get to the point where you get her number, you get her Instagram, not realizing she's not that interested in following up. It was interesting while you were there at the club, gave her a great conversation, cleared her energy, cleared her head, whatever. She got some value from it, but not going to meet you up out of the club. I mean, she knows you met her at the club. She's practically naked, sexy, you know. Okay, well, I got to write this guy a message. This guy's struggling. So we'll just go 10 more minutes. So, um, what was I saying here? So you get these Instagrams, you'll get these numbers, you'll message them. They may reply, they may not. If they do reply, it still may go nowhere. You'll get frustrated. I've gotten 100 Instagrams, 100 telephone numbers from strippers in different strip clubs. You know what I mean? How many have I met up outside of the club? You know, it's a minority, like 10. I don't know. There's a lot of girls that maybe less, maybe 8. You know, it's just what it is. Like, and that ratio gets higher and higher as I move forward or whatever, and it'll accumulate because now I'm plopped down in Vegas. So a lot of the girls I have their contacts now in a month, in 6 months, in a year. At some point, we'll meet up outside. So the longer you're at it, going to those venues, then you know, if you try to come here for a week and get a girl to meet you outside of the club, it's going to be hard. If you come here for a year, it's more likely. Come here for 10 years, it's guaranteed. You know, and so working it, um, then you get better at realizing when I'm talking to her, this you'll start once you start getting some successes. Some girls do meet you out of the club. What do we do when we meet out of the club? That's what I'll talk about in a second. But when that happens, when it works, when she actually shows up as a friend, as a potential lover, or whatever it is, meets you, really, it's a friend. She just meets you as a friend. I don't know anything about the sexuality, but I know that we've been flirting, but we met in a strip club at your work. I'm a sexual guy, so we're always going to be flirting. I just flirt, whatever it is. Sometimes that comes in the form of teasing her and whatever. And so it doesn't always look like jovial and, you know, romantic. That's not what it is. And but the tension, the sexual tension is there. It's like you feel it. There is a palpable sexual tension. And but that doesn't mean you're going for sex. She just meets you out of the club as a friend. When she does that, then you'll realize how the interaction was when you were in the club with her. What kind of interaction results in a girl meeting you outside the club? You thought all those other girls, you got their numbers and Instagrams, and you thought, well, this went well. She's definitely going to be mine. Never meets you out of the club, doesn't reply to your text. Later, this other girl that you were thinking it was good, whatever, it was a good set, we call it, good interaction. And then she ends up meeting you outside the club. And it's clear that she's into you. And it's like, oh, that's what a real interaction feels like in the strip club. When it's real. The other girls, they were maybe kind of real for what it was. Maybe they weren't real at all. The other day, I was interacting with one. I was convinced it was real. At the end, I realized it was all a game. I was like, damn, that was good. You know, she didn't take me for anything. I don't get taken for things like that. But, you know, I realized when I tipped her, and the tip was much under what she was expecting because she was one of the prettiest girls there. And her attitude said something, and it was interesting. It's not done between her and I because, I mean, let's be real. Even against celebrities or very, very high value, handsome or rich or everything, whatever, there is a quality to me that I've developed that is unique and it is valuable and it's not common. And even if she knew a guy greater than me, it would be noteworthy to meet me because it's so rare. And so I know it leaves an impression. Not a big deal. But, you know, I'm pushing it far. I'm pushing the edge of what I'm able to do. So as the girls meet you outside the club, you start to realize, oh, that girl, that interaction, that was real. That was real. As you meet the girls outside the club and you see how they act out of the club, because they have the habits of a stripper. I mean, strippers behave differently than regular girls, especially around guys, and just, man. So you'll see different levels, girls that respect you when they're out of the club, girls that don't respect as much. They're more aware, less aware. Like the girl outside the club is slightly different to maybe a lot different, but she's meeting you out of the club. So that means she liked you. That means whatever interaction you had with her in the club, whatever she was giving you was actually she was liking you and good enough that she was going to meet you out of the club. So you start to measure, what is that like? Now you're playing the game, really. You got the game where you go to a place where she's busy by all these other options. You grab her attention. You have a great enough conversation or interaction that she sticks with you instead of working, or goes and works and comes back and comes back and comes back. Exchanges contact with you and meets you out of the club. And then it just goes on from there. Now you got a girl that you meet, a girl, what do? You date her, you go forward with it. And that's the game. The club has done the hard work for you of pulling together some beautiful women. And now you have an uphill climb because it's a pretty fucked up environment when you think about what a strip club is. I mean, it's natural, probably existed all throughout human history, but just what it is, you're going into the depths of, the sinister to, develop your strength, your social strength, knowing that you're socializing, your social experience as a human is so for the purpose of mating that it's mind-boggling. Like, you really aren't interacting with people for much other reason. War, to fight, to band together, maybe some banding together for protection of the tribe or whatever, but that's amongst the guys. And so, like, that's war. That's the beginnings of war. And at the end of the day, you're protecting your tribe, meaning you're protecting a lot of people other than you, because animals aren't going to go after a band of warriors. They're going to go after the babies and the women, and the men have to band together to protect them. The lions go for the weakest. They don't go for the strongest. They might pick off the strongest if it's right in front of them, but they go for the easy targets. The fat one that can't run as fast, he gets that one, not the fastest. So, that's what men would be coordinated. That's mating. That's very natural mating. Have sex, have offspring, protect them until they're grown. Okay, that's like what humans are here to do. But then, really, what do they go into war for? To conquest, for resources, land, women, and the land and resources so that they can raise the women and the kids, use the women to raise the kids. Like, it's all the coordinated effort of war is that. And then the social, parties or, just basically the interactions between men and women is so about that mating agenda that if you're going to develop your character as a person, a personality, a charisma, empathy, or an ability to understand people, how emotions play into this thing, like what are their wants, what are their needs, what are their fears, yourself, what are your wants, needs, fears, like you actually are illiterate. You're illiterate to your own emotions. You're just like numb to them. You get better and better, and you will get better and better with the language of it to describe it, but also the language of delivery of it. So what does it sound like when that's actually it? It's different having a psychoanalyst. One second. Hey, brother, I'm streaming right now. What's up? I should be done in like 5 minutes. All right, bye. Oh, dang, it looked like, did the Instagram stream, it kept going while I was talking on speakerphone there. Like, you guys saw that? So you're on. Was that a continuous stream that you saw and heard me? Oh, now you can't hear you. Oh, okay, so no, it didn't. He answered that. So what are you molding your character to? Is it the stock marketplace? Is it the grocery store? Is it the fighting center, the dojo or whatever? Is it the school room? Is your character molded to be a silent student? You know what I mean? Is your character molded to be a construction worker, we mold our character to be a player. We're players. You know what I mean? And so our character is molded by the thing that is present in every man's communication, the desire for women of his choice. That's why he's doing everything. And maybe some of the character traits that we develop as players are not the best character traits to be the stock trader. But the stock trader is doing that to get women. That's why he's working so hard and piling up the money and doing it. Like, where is his ambition? What's motivating that? So he may make all that money, but then what's going to happen when he's in front of a woman? His stock trader characteristics are not the best for relating with women. His money is, and she'll use him for that. And he may be more or less good with women, depending. Nobody's really good with women, but he may, be a natural in some way or whatever. But that's rare. And for the most part, the guy who's striving for success, if he becomes successful, will have the characteristics of a successful person in that field. But no field is educating man on relationships. I went through 24 and a half years of education, high school diploma, graduate degree, PhD degree, nothing about male-female relations. And whatever was taught about communication, however rare that was not very valid. The person teaching it was not a good communicator. It was just words on a page, maybe. So I didn't learn about that stuff. So I was getting really good at what I was doing. And that's what everybody in every field, they get to, I don't care if you're a pro soccer player or something, you get really good at the soccer, you're not better at relationships. You actually will get worse. Now, if you're famous, celebrity, you may attract a lot of women. You drive up in the Lamborghini or whatever, you flash a lot of money, like you will attract, and so you'll gain experience by interact, but it'll be a certain kind of experience. Like how the stripper gains experience interacting with men, but it's lustful men that are groping at her, that are thirsty and hungry for sex. She gets that experience of men. Over time, she doesn't even know a different experience from men. It warps her experience of men. It was already warped, that's why she became a stripper, but it gets worse and worse. 10-year stripper is very different than a, first month stripper. Same thing for the rich guy, the celebrity. He gets a certain experience of women that want something from him. He will attract beautiful women, and he may be one of the lucky few that somehow, for one reason or another, pierces the veil and actually has a real relationship with the real woman, even if he's rich and celebrity. I don't see any examples of it, but I'm sure it happens. For the most part, it seems like the beautiful woman will take advantage of the celebrity, just as regular women take advantage of regular guys. Take half the resources, take the house, take the kids, blah, blah, blah. So the celebrity guy, he's going to have a certain experience of women. He's not even going to know how to relate with women. Every woman wants his resources. He learns to be very standoffish and pays for what he wants. That's why the Illuminati, whatever, they get blackmailed with fucking whores and prostitutes, and then eventually it leads to slightly underage and then more underage, and they get more and more warped because they can't really relate with women on a voluntary basis by seducing them. So they end up paying for it, which is already illicit, and then it gets worse and worse because it's a slippery slope when you start doing negative things and crimes and out ethics things. It snowballs. It gets worse. You don't stay at that level. It's like do a little bit of heroin. You get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. Or you stop doing it and go the other way. And so our character is molded in the arena of the strip club. And then we're not just pickup artists of strippers, pickup strippers. That's our company. We're actually relationship and communication experts. And it's not about relating with strippers and having relationships with strippers. Like I'm just saying, that's the arena. They pull together the beautiful women for you. It expands. Your social circle expands. Dancers know other girls. Dancers eventually stop dancing. Who knows? Models. It leads to other things. You go out with a pretty girl, you may meet another pretty girl. Pretty girls like to meet guys that pretty girls already like. So that's this game. Now, you got to be 21 to go to the strip clubs here, CJ. So, you know what I mean? But you could still learn from our lessons and, do the plan like we were talking to. Get your money up with that, target it. That hustle will be essential. You're just a little boy until you have that down. When you go to the strip club, you're a little boy. Don't be 21 and not have that down. Have that down where it's like you're about your shit and you've made something of yourself. You still got a lot to go, but you're making something of yourself and it's obvious you're making it. And that confidence and manliness will come across even if you're 21. Then some of the girls will love you because you baby face, but you'll have that masculinity. And that's what the phase 1 process also is. When you start beasting and you get the philosophy, the stoicism, and how it applies to game and lifestyle, that's what the lectures are in the phase 1 product, then that will activate because on one end, you're 19, I'm 37. So you should have a lot more testosterone than me. You should have a lot more vigor than me. You know, the ancient Roman army was mostly made up of 19-year-olds, not 37-year-olds. You know what I mean? Because that's when you're at your prime physically. Later, maybe up to 23, 25 something, maybe to 30, but 37, I'm an old soldier. You know what I mean? I should be maybe a general or something, or some officer that's not really fighting. Can't be a soldier. You're more masculine than me in that sense. However, because of food, vaccines, the way the media is, it conditions our mind. You know, if we see masculine imagery, we become more masculine. You see an alpha male, you become more masculine. You see a bunch of beta males all your life, everywhere, in school, on TV, movies, everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. It raises your estrogen, lowers your testosterone. So you're actually more conditioned by the system to be girlier than I was at 19. So you're younger than me, stronger than me, but you have a different mindset than me. So the beast phase 1 process, TK did it. He was there with us originally. He got his beads. Lives in Wisconsin, about to move to Vegas in about 4 or 5 weeks. Then it will activate something in you that now you're already experiencing it, right? You're doing some calisthenics at the park. You're watching the white belt videos. And, you know, it's just about the depths of that, because that's the bedrock of what we do here. So definitely before you're 21, ideally before you're 20, so you can work with it for a year. Think about beast phase 1 process. The advanced camps are also great. And obviously, if you make that money, expenses are low, then you keep up everything. You'll come here like a philosopher. You could probably even come here underage and just not go out with us, but just hang around us and be at the lectures and everything. And I'd give you some huge discount for that. That would be huge for you. If you want to do that, then DM me and talk with me about that. Because obviously, so much of the value is going out at night. If you can't do that, then, I mean, that's got to be like half off or something. Okay, everybody, I got to call back Oracle. Call back Oracle. Hope this was informative to you. I liked talking about it. I'm, you know, always interested in the split screen, but everybody's joining now that I'm ending. So that's interesting. So, yeah, it's good energy. Man, so many comments on YouTube. You guys are funny. All right, everybody. See you in the next class or next stream. If you're not on things, check out Arasta Pardibazar. The link's in the description. Daily class, $97 a month, straight game, top player on earth. That's my teacher. I live with him. Lived with him for 4 years. Then advanced classes and everything, it's all available, imcbase1.com. Check it out, imcbase1.com. Praise the Lord. Be the best. Fuck the rest. Yeah, you're welcome, man. Oh, I should have been reading these comments, period. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. Yes, yes. I don't recognize everyone. You guys are... What's going on here? Everyone's a player. Nobody's a player. You're not a player. Nobody you know is really a player. Okay. This and that, Sosa. Okay.